hello there. That's what I get for trying to be funny. Today we're doing a fall grocery haul. My name is Caitlin if you're new here, and I make simple and delicious vegan recipes. Fall produce is at its prime right now, so I thought it'd be fun to do a little haul with you guys and then show you how I use some of the ingredients in recipes. Obviously, grocery shopping is a different experience for everyone. This is just mine, and these are the foods and products that I'm currently loving as a vegan who loves to eat fall food. But before we get into it, that's a transition. If you're familiar with me and my content, you know I eat a pretty wholesome, plant-forward diet. I love to incorporate a wide variety of fruits and veggies. But at the end of the day, I don't want to only rely on my diet or the groceries that I buy in order to have a well-balanced diet. It's just not practical due to genetics and a bunch of other things in today's day and age, which leads me to today's sponsor, Ritual. I take Ritual's essential multivitamin for women over 18, and I love it because it's clinically backed multivitamin that is specifically formulated to fill nutrient gaps. Before taking Ritual, I was taking like 3 or 4 different supplements, which honestly just felt overwhelming to me, and I would forget to take them. So I love that now I only need to take 2 pills a day, and it is specifically formulated for my needs. Unlike other multivitamins, Ritual uses omega-3 DHA, which is a really important nutrient, but instead of getting it from fish, they get it from microalgae, which makes it vegan friendly, which I love. I don't really know what this was, but I do love it. Ritual's multivitamin also includes other things like vitamin K2, D3, folate, magnesium, all of which you can see on their website because they are super transparent and make it really easy for you as a consumer to understand why it's going in there too. I love to have an active role in understanding in my overall health and wellness, and I feel like Ritual makes it super easy. The other great thing about it is that I can just order it online, and it's based on a subscription model, so I never accidentally forget to get my vitamins. They just come to my door every 30 days and it makes it super easy for me. The other great thing about it is that you can take it morning or night with or without food. And in the past, I have gotten like an upset tummy from taking different multivitamins, but I love Ritual because that has never happened with me. So if you want to check out Ritual, I have an awesome discount code for you. You can use my code KATES20 for 20% off of your first month. So again, I take their essential multivitamin women 18+, but I also take their symbiotic, and Ritual makes it really easy to stack products and have them all delivered to your door at the same time. And my code applies if you build or bundle products as well. So I'll have the link down below. Be sure to check it out. Let's move on to the grocery haul. To start out, I've got 3 mysterious brown paper bags that you can't see into. This is an obscene amount of mushrooms. I always get mushrooms, but this week I'm actually recipe testing a lot of mushroom recipes. So I've got some cremini mushrooms, some shiitake mushrooms, and some oyster mushrooms, which you'll all be seeing in future recipes on the blog. Dylan and I love snacking on fruit, so I always get fruit whenever I go to the grocery store. This time I got some pears. I also got a few apples, which I'm going to be using in my breakfast meal prep. And then we always also get some bananas because we freeze these for smoothies and have smoothies year round, even when it's cold outside. Then for veggies, I got a little bit of broccoli. We've got some Brussels sprouts. I love just roasting them, keeping it super simple. And we also got some kale. I definitely crave kale more in the fall and winter. I feel like it's hearty, it's great in soups or massaged in salads. Actually, I have several recipes on my blog for kale salads that are great in the fall, so check those out if you need some inspiration. And then I got some Italian flat leaf parsley. I feel like this is a great add-on to like a ton of things to just add a nice fresh element. Like if you're making a hearty soup or just even tossing it in a salad, it adds a nice fresh flavor, and it's usually very affordable at the grocery store. I also got this poultry mix. Honestly, I wanted thyme, but it's been out of stock at my grocery store, so little hack. The poultry mix is a mix of sage, rosemary, and thyme, so I'll use these with roasting vegetables and with all my mushroom recipes for the blog. I also got some coffee because we were running out of beans. I got some oat milk. Honestly, I usually prefer soy milk, but again, I need this for a specific recipe for work. We've also got some garlic, some ginger, and these are gold potatoes. Potatoes are just so cozy. They're so cheap and budget friendly. really can't go wrong with a good potato. I also got some carrots, great in soups, stews, roasted, salads. They're usually pretty cheap too. And then the greatest thing about fall, in my opinion, is all of the fall squash that comes in season. So I got some butternut squash and some, I think this is a red or golden curry. I might be pronouncing that wrong, squash. I just think it's so cute. It's like a little pumpkin with a tiny Jimmy Neutron head. I don't know, but this is similar to a kabocha. I love buying these whenever they're on sale at the grocery store because honestly, if you keep it in a cool, dark place, it will keep for a really long time. So it's one of those things you can stock up on and it's not just like gonna go bad. We buy all of our like dry products in bulk, like beans and rice, so I didn't get any of that. But I usually get some tofu every week because we love tofu. It's a great plant-based protein and we use it in a wide variety of things. If you need tofu recipes, again, just check out my blog. I've got a ton. And then last but not least, I got some vegan coconut yogurt and some Just Egg. I don't honestly buy a lot of processed food from the grocery store simply because I'm always recipe testing, but if that makes your life easier, by all means go for it. But I got these specifically because I've been having breakfast cravings and I wanted to try to make French toast with this. And then my friend Nisha, Rainbow Plant Life on YouTube, just posted a vegan pancake recipe on her blog that uses yogurt or sour cream. So I got this specifically because I wanted to test out her new pancake recipe. But anyways, these are all the groceries I got. I realized the camera angle isn't the best, so I'll do a little overlay here. As you can see, I focused on a lot of seasonal produce, which helps me save money from the grocery store. We've got some seasonal fruit, some mushrooms, some veggies which were on sale or are in season, so they're naturally cheaper, and some fall squash because I'm ready for all of the cozy vibes. So now that you've seen everything I got from the store, I'm going to do a casual meal prep. I usually don't make a dinner because it's leftovers of whatever I'm working on during the week, but I thought it would be cool to show you how I'm going to use some of these things so I can have easy breakfast and lunch this week. For breakfast, I decided to make some apple cinnamon oatmeal and I made it in my Instant Pot just to make the prep a little bit easier. You could totally make this on a stovetop too. First up, I just sliced all of my apples. I used about 3 Honeycrisp apples. You could totally do more or less depending on how many apples you want. This is making around 4 to 5 servings for me. Then I just melted a little bit of vegan butter in the Instant Pot and added the apples with some cinnamon and ginger and sauteed them for a bit until it was mixed. And then I like to add some water, which I think helps the apples to steam and sort of cook down more. Then at the end of cooking, I stirred in about a tablespoon of coconut sugar, or you could also use brown sugar, which I think is like the secret ingredient to making your apples extra delicious. Then I removed about 2/3 of the cooked apples. I wanted them separate for a topping. And then I added the rest of my oatmeal ingredients, which is some steel cut oatmeal, some spices, and I also added some vanilla protein powder instead of some sweetener. I actually used Rituals vanilla protein. And then I added some soy milk, mixed it all up, and then cooked it on manual high pressure for about 5 minutes. And then I let it sit in naturally release pressure for about 15 minutes until it was nice and thick. So then for serving, I like to just top mine with the diced apples. You could totally add nut butter if you wanted to, but this oatmeal is nice and creamy and filling and delicious. Then for lunches for the week, I decided to make my feel-good red lentil stew with some roasted squash on the side. I actually doubled the soup. Actually, it's not a stew, it's a soup. I doubled the recipe, but it's still the same. We're just gonna saute some onion and then added some diced carrot, garlic, and ginger. I love how simple but flavorful this recipe is. And then for our spices, we're just going to add some turmeric, black pepper, and red pepper flakes if you like things a little bit more spicy. And then I had the biggest trouble after I rinsed my lentils and let them sit in the bowl for too long. So I just thought this was comical and wanted to include it. So pro tip, don't put them in a bowl because they're going to absorb the extra liquid and expand. But eventually I did get them out and it did not affect the final texture of the soup. So, and then I added in my vegetable broth and water. The lentils started to come apart from their clumps more once I started mixing it, but you're just going to bring everything to a boil and then let it simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes until it's thickened to your liking. If you want to, you can puree part of the soup for a smoother soup, but today I decided that I didn't feel like doing that and I was just going to keep it a little chunky. And while I was cooking the soup, I actually roasted this red curry or golden curry, whatever, squash in the oven. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory here. I just removed the seeds and sliced it up. This variety of squash is pretty similar to kabocha squash and the skin is actually very thin. So I just rinsed the outside of the squash and kept the skin on, but if you wanted to peel it, you totally could. Again, it just seemed like an extra step that I didn't need to do. So I diced all my squash up, then I just transferred it directly to my baking tray. And since this soup doesn't have any like super prominent flavors, I decided to just add some of the rosemary I got from the grocery store this week with some black pepper and salt, which I felt like worked with the soup flavors. Like, I didn't mean the soup's not prominent, it's just like kind of neutral. Like, I feel like it could go with a variety of things. So this is the route I went. I just tossed it with some olive oil, spread it out on the baking sheet, and then baked it until it was nice and tender. This is definitely an optional step, but I like the extra textural variety it adds. Then I wanted to show you how I would reheat my leftovers. So I put some soup in, and then I added my kale to the soup right before serving because I didn't want it to get super overcooked. And then I'm adding the lemon juice from the recipe just at the end so the flavor stays stronger. And then I just topped it off with the roasted squash, and it's a nice and easy, nourishing lunch. All right, friends, and that's it for this video. Let me know if you liked this video format and if you wanted me to film more like that, or if you have any other video suggestions. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so when you can see my videos, and then leave a comment down below and let me know if you have any video requests. I'd be happy to film them for you. I hope you're doing well. This is your daily friendly reminder to drink your water and take your multivitamins. Speaking of which, thanks again to Ritual for sponsoring this video. Be sure to use my code KATES20 for 20% off of your first month for whatever product you want. I would highly recommend their multivitamin. And fun fact, they're now a B Corp company now, which means they're doing good for us, making our lives easier, but they're also doing something great for the planet too. Thanks so much for watching. I look forward to virtually seeing you again in a future video, and until then, take care and bye.